Morning everybody, and welcome back to another video. Today we're starting out pressure washing the combine. You guys know this thing broke down last night, and basically what happened, the header has an oil filter here, and apparently from new you're supposed to replace this thing after 50 hours of operating. We never did that. It's pretty odd. There's a whole metal plate that goes in front of here. You can see the bolt holes, and there's like 6 bolts holding it on, so you don't really expect there to be an oil filter back here if you have to unbolt a bunch of stuff. But anyway, it didn't get replaced and it deteriorated, and a bunch of the stuff from inside of the filter, some glue, paper, built up in some valves in the block here, and that built up pressure to the point where the oil filter literally blew up, and that's no good. So they put a new oil filter on it last night, turned it on, blew up right away again. So Brent took this whole block off, took all the hoses out, cleaned out all the valves in there. Seemed pretty complicated, but he got it cleaned out and put back together, put a new oil filter on, ran it last night, and it run perfectly. So we're just gonna clean it up now. Obviously there's all that hydraulic fluid everywhere right now, and if you don't clean that off, head out to the pea field, is gonna get covered in dust. So that's what we're doing this morning. Since we're trying to get oil off of that piece of equipment, we're gonna use the foam cannon. Gonna use the TNT cleaner here. There, I'd say she's properly foamed up. We're gonna let it sit there for another couple of minutes, and then we'll clean it off. So we got the header cleaned off, all the oil's off. Should be staying a little bit clean at least. We didn't do the whole combine, obviously. That's gonna take a few hours, I think, to do this whole thing. We probably will though, once we're done combining for the season. Give it a good wash, especially after something like that, the oil blowing everywhere. But yeah, this thing should be good to go for the rest of the day. So we're gonna take over trucking in a couple hours here. What we've been doing, since the peas are so light, we just leave the baler in the field, and then the guy who's trucking the peas back and forth, he has enough time actually to almost keep up with the combine and make all the straw into bales right away. So that's what I'm going to need to be doing. But that baler is kind of low on net wrap, so we're just going to toss a bale of net wrap in that baler extra, and then we won't be out later today. So they're just combining away right now. It looks like there's a lot more straw getting dropped just because of the weather. It's not as hot today, and it's also cloudy. The haze adds to it as well. When it's plus 35 and sunny, a little bit windy, all your straw just gets chopped right down to dust. But now there should be quite a few bales coming off of this piece of land. Well, we hopped into the truck. We got a full box. Let's get her back to the yard. With the peas, when you're dumping them into the auger, you want to tilt the truck box as far back as possible so they're not falling as far, otherwise they'll bounce everywhere out of that hopper, out of the auger. Another thing you guys will notice, when I grabbed a hand there was a lot of split peas, unfortunately. If you're delivering the grain, you will get docked for that pretty heavily, especially when there's a lot of split peas. But for us, we're just going to be putting these through the hammer mill, feeding them straight to the cows, so it doesn't really matter. So we just dropped that load off at the yard, and I'm back in the field. I don't even see the grain piling up in the combine hopper there. So we're just gonna go straight to the baler now and start making some round bales. So we're gonna try putting 2 hoppers in the truck. That gives me plenty of time to catch up to baling because he is starting to get away on us. Gonna head over to the truck. You can see how much ground we've covered. That's the whole length of the quarter section. So I don't know, we've probably done 20 swaths, and that's how long it took them to fill that hopper. So that is pretty depressing. Oh well, it is what it is. I'm not gonna take 2 combine hoppers again in the tandem. It is too heavy. I was so nervous, man. Like, start lifting that box, it hardly goes up. I did that one time with peas, and I had to climb in the box and shovel everything to the back because it just would not lift. Peas are so heavy. If you fill one of these silage boxes, it's too much weight. You're gonna wreck the truck. It's not worth it. So the first pea field we did, we got about 115 bales off of the 100 acres, and it did about 20 bushels an acre. So bales, pretty good yielding on straw, but just did not yield in terms of grain. This field though is a little bit better. We just hit 26 bushels an acre, and we're gonna most likely make 175 bales total. So it's definitely a little bit better on this field than the last field, but both of them are still quite poor in terms of the grain yield, which is unfortunate. It is what it is, can't do anything about it. So yeah, we're just gonna finish up the last little bit of baling here, and we'll head back to the yard. Just doing the night check, finished up, parked everything in the shed, took the auger, put it in the shed, closed the bin lid. It's supposed to rain tonight, so we got it all done right before the rain is supposed to come. Just checking the cows now. How's it going, Cheetah? Sweet cow. Oh yeah. It's always nice to pet a cow at the end of the day, especially such a sweetheart. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.